very powerful. Sometimes we don't realize it, but people like non-Muslims, when they see us all together, shoulder to shoulder, especially when you are like in Masjid al-Haram, you have like 2-3 million Muslims all shoulder to shoulder, that is very powerful. So and the same thing applies when we are in a jalsa like this one, because jalsa, it's a kind of dhikr. A jalsa, it's surrounded by angels. We don't see angels. Some people do see angels. We can see angels in this life. We can, some do. This jalsa is surrounded by angels, malaika. Malaika yahduruna hati jalsa. So it's very powerful. So we want to be together. I know it might be a little not very comfortable, but inshallah we'll get the reward for it. Jazakumullahu khairan. I want to thank you so very much. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وإخوانه وحزبه أجمعين. Only Allah Azza wa Jal is worthy of all praise, all the times, for the countless of blessings that He showers us with every single moment. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So I'm going to talk in English again because we have our youth here and I want to make sure they understand, because they are the future of Islam in America. We want to make sure that they are super ready to carry the message of Islam in the United States. And the topic is, how can we help our children, our youth, to fast in the month of Ramadan? The best way, the way that will please Allah Azza wa Jal. So, I have 10 MashaAllah. You are so lovely. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? We're very happy to have you. I have 10 challenges that our youth go through in the United States during their fasting in the month of Ramadan. We are going to go over each of these challenges and also the solutions. These are practical, real problems they go through. And we want to know what those problems are so we can help them navigate this environment, which is very tough, especially at school. And I'm going to ask 2 of our youth here to come and sit with me, and they are going to be reading these challenges and these solutions, and then we'll have a discussion. But before we do this, I want to address a direct message to our respected parents and future parents, those who are not married yet. So you know this. And that message has 3 words. 3. These 3 words is how to raise our children in the U.S. so that they are righteous, devoted servants of Allah Azza wa Jal. And these 3 are, first, connect. Number 2, communicate. Number 3, consult. First one, connect. You need to connect yourself with Allah Azza wa Jal. If you want your children to be connected to Allah Azza wa Jal, you need to, and I mean you, myself included, I need to connect myself with Allah Azza wa Jal so that I get all the help and the support and the blessings and the power and the strength to be, and the wisdom and the knowledge and the expertise, the barakah, so that I raise my children the way Allah Ta'ala is pleased with. And the other reason I need to connect and bond myself with Allah Azza wa Jal, this is the tough one and this is the best one, so that I give my children a role model. It's easy to tell your child, you need to pray 5 times a day. And we should tell them. What is most impactful and most powerful, you don't even say it. You pray 5 times a day. I'll let them see yourself praying 5 times a day. Not just 5 times a day, but 5 times a day on time. You don't even have to tell them, Because by nature, Allah has created us creatures, we imitate others, especially our parents, from early age. So when you connect yourself with Allah Azza wa Jal, you're so close to Allah Azza wa Jal, and you yourself practice your religion, you are a devoted abd, worshipper and servant of Allah Ta'ala, automatically your children will follow your model. And that's the most powerful way to make da'wah. And the first people who are deserving, they have the right on you to call them to Allah Ta'ala, to make da'wah to them, is your aqarib, your most close people to you, your spouse and your children. So if you connect yourself to Allah, your children will be connected to Allah Azza wa Jal. Number 2, communicate. What does communicate mean? Listen more than talking. Because these youth, they are going through a lot of hardship, a lot of temptations, a lot of evil thoughts, a lot of devil ideologies at school, a lot of desires, boyfriend, girlfriend, vaping, drugs, dating. It's so hard. You know, they have the internet. It is so tempting. So a lot of pressure on them outside. And they spend a lot of time at school and outside school with electronics. So you can imagine how much pressure they have on them, how much temptation. So one thing we need to do, which is not easy, is to listen to their concerns. Give them a chance just to talk, just to tell you what they're going through. Because the fact that just the moment they are talking, that's part of their healing. That's part of relieving themselves of that pressure. Just to find someone they can talk to, they can address, someone who can listen to their concerns, to their worries, to whatever they're going through. Part of communication, respect. You cannot expect your child to respect you if you don't respect them. The fact that you are a parent does not give you the right to disrespect your child, to underestimate what they say, to belittle them, to use bad words, to use words that are not good, not nice. Not that the fact that I'm a parent and a power of a parent does not mean using really very harsh words. That does not show that you're strong. That shows your weakness. And I'm sorry, I should not say that. That shows my weakness. The power of a man does not lie in how much violent he is, how much rude he is. That's a weakness, not a power. The power of a man is how much respect he shows, especially with his close relatives, starting with the wife and the children. So respect is something that is not demanded, it's something that's commanded. If I want people to respect me, I need to respect them, and especially my children. And one of the biggest mistakes we make, parents, oh, that's the child, just a child. It's okay to talk to him this way. Well, how do I expect myself to make da'wah, to show the high level of khuluq, of character of Islam, if I do not model that high character myself? How do I expect my child to respect me if I do not show that kind of respect? So that's part of communication. When my child or my teenager is there and he's expressing all the hardship, all the pressure he's going through at school, and he's trying very hard to hold on to his deen, to Islam, with all what he sees. You know, all people are doing all of these crazy things, and yet he's still holding to his Islam, and he wants just to express, to talk. So when I listen, I need to respect what he's saying. I need to respect his ideas, even if I disagree with those ideas. We can disagree, I can disagree with my child, but respectfully. Okay, well, I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I'm sorry, I disagree with you. This is not the way I think we should do things. See, that's a high level of communication. Your child will respect you even more. And the bigger part of it, the better part of this, not only will he respect you even more, but he will be and she will be more comfortable talking to you. Because the worst thing that can happen is that he will not, when a problem happens and she's going through a really hardship or a temptation out there, and he needs to make she needs to make a serious decision what to do to hold into his faith, to his morality, the worst thing that can happen that he would not come to you. He would not refer back to you. He would not consult with you, or she would not consult with you, because the last time he did or she did, he did not find a merciful, a respectful father, a merciful, a compassionate, respectful mother. So communication is key when it comes to our children. Respect of their ideas, respect of whatever they say. And the third one is consult. So first we said connect with Allah so that Allah blesses you and Allah Ta'ala gives you the blessing so that your child also is connected to Allah. The second is communicate with respect, with listening. And the third is to consult. And consulting in Islam has the two key ways that we learn from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That starts first and foremost with istikhara, is you consult with Allah Azza wa Jal. Consulting with Allah Ta'ala means dua. Dua. Because no one has power over your child except Allah Ta'ala. I have zero power over my child. You have zero power over your child. In fact, we have zero power over anything. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What does it mean? There is no power, there is no change except by Allah. Whatever power you have, whatever power I have, it's only by Allah Azza wa Jal. So we should never ever think that we can change anything without the power and the blessing and the permission and the will of Allah Azza wa Jal. So wherever your child is going through, remember and be assured and relax and have confidence. And don't worry too much. Remember that Allah has the power to change that which is in your child so that he or she they become a righteous servant. So what should we do practically? We should raise our hands and open our hearts and humble ourselves, not just once a week, not once a month, not just during Ramadan, not during just Hajj, every single day. It's one of the rights of your children upon you that you make dua, that you turn to Allah in intimate invocation and supplication, a humble invocation to Allah Ta'ala, asking Allah the Almighty, the only one who has the power over everything, to give you the power and the wisdom and the patience, number 2, patience, number 3, and the knowledge to help your child to be a righteous servant in this country. That's the first part of consulting with Allah Azza wa Jal. And there's the formal way of what's called istikhara, salatul istikhara. It's a type of salah of prayer, which is called salatul istikhara. It's 2 rakat, you pray 2 rakat. It's an optional prayer, it's non-obligatory prayer. You pray 2 units, rak'ah, 2 rakat, and then after you say assalamu alaikum, there's a specific dua that you ask Allah Ta'ala to choose for you, whatever is best for you, and you do this specifically for whatever matter you have. The other part of consulting is you consult people who are expert in the field. There are people, mashallah, and I'm sure they're on this masjid. This is my first time coming to this great masjid, but I'm sure there are a lot of people you'll find in this masjid who have expertise in raising children the best way, the wise way. Just ask people who have experience, and they will give you a lot of good tips, a lot of good ways and strategies. Also ask people experts in the medical field if there is a mental issue that your child is going through, something that has to do with their mental health or anything health-wise. Ask people who are experts of the field. The point here is that you take the means and ask the experts. So to summarize, connect, communicate, consult. Connect with Allah so that your child will be connected with Allah. Communicate with them respectfully. They will respect you and they will come and consult with you, and that will strengthen the bond between you two. And the third one is consult with Allah Ta'ala through dua, constant dua, and consult with the people who are experts in the field. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter, which is Ramadan. And Ramadan is an annual, unique, exceptional, superb opportunity to get closer to Allah. We're supposed to get close to Allah every single month, right? Every single day, not just in Hajj and Ramadan, because Allah does not only exist in Ramadan. Ramadan comes and goes, right? But Allah does not come and go. Allah is always there. Hajj comes and go. Friday comes and go, but Allah is always there. So don't worship Ramadan, we worship Allah Azza wa Jal. So Ramadan is meant for us to get closer to Allah Ta'ala, to continue our journey towards Allah Ta'ala. Continue to get closer and closer to Allah. The difference between Ramadan and every other month is just Ramadan you have more energy, more blessing, more power, more opportunities to get closer to Allah Ta'ala, and the reward is multiplied so many-fold. It's like the Friday is the Eid, the weekly Eid. It's the most blessed day of the week. And when you go to Hajj, you have a lot of energy because that place is so blessed and that time is so blessed. So Allah Ta'ala gives you more power. You just sleep 3 hours and you're so strong. You don't feel asleep, and you do like 3-4 umrahs a day. And you want to do more. You have a lot of, where does the energy come from? Do you become like a Superman in Mecca? It's not like you become a Superman or Superwoman. It's just a lot of spirituality. It's a high energy. So our youth in the US, during the month of Ramadan, especially the month of Ramadan, because the fasting, and especially if they go to public school, a school that is not Islamic school, they go through a lot of challenges. So there are 10 challenges that they go through. Our Imam, how much time do I still have? 15, okay. So I would like 2 volunteer youth. What's your name? Abdullah. What grade are you in? Jamia? What year? 2nd year? Could you please come sit with me? What's your name again? Abdullah. Sorry, Abdullah. And how old are you? Yes, 9. Okay. Forgive me. I need someone who's a little older than you. Okay. What's your name? Abdullah. We have 2 Abdullahs. That's good. Come. So first I want to welcome both of our Abdullahs. For a great name, Abdullah. And we ask, first let's make a little dua here to take advantage of this great place, which is masjid, and all of your presence, because your presence is a great, powerful barakah, that we make dua that these 2 Abdullah will, inshallah, be true Abdullah. What does true Abdullah? That does not mean they're fake Abdullah. They are Abdullah. True Abdullah means the true. What does Abdullah mean in English? In Arabic, Abdullah means the servant of Allah. So may Allah Ta'ala make you a true, devout, righteous servant of Allah Azza wa Jal. One of the names that Allah Ta'ala gave to His most beloved Prophet is Abd. In Surah Al-Isra. Surah Al-Isra. We just commemorated the anniversary of Al-Isra Al-Mi'raj, the night journey and ascension from this earth to heaven. Physically. The Messenger ﷺ went from Mecca to Jerusalem. You know Jerusalem, right? Jerusalem, it's in Palestine. You know Palestine. Jerusalem, it's in Palestine. Just to make sure that you remember this. Remember this, it's in Palestine. He went from Mecca, from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, Aqsa Masjid in Jerusalem, and then from there to the farthest boundary that even Archangel could not get to. And he went physically, body and soul. So in Surah Al-Isra, Allah Azza wa Jal referred to His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده. Glory be to the one who carried His. He did not say His messenger. He did not say His prophet. He said His servant. So being a servant of Allah, it's a high honor. And may Allah Ta'ala make both of you and every one of us a true servant of Allah Azza wa Jal. So they're going to be reading, alternating, one challenge, one solution. These are real challenges that our youth go through during the month of Ramadan. So you can read the challenge and then you can read the solution. And after, we're going to have a little discussion. Hopefully we'll have enough time. We'll just have 12 minutes. And then hopefully we'll have enough time to have questions. And I want you, please, when you hear these challenges, to ask yourself, are there any other challenges that we can discuss, that we can address tonight, inshallah? Bismillah.
Okay. Laziness and lack of energy, motivation, and patience to follow the Ramadan schedule, especially fasting the whole day and standing up in the entire Taraweeh. Solution is to make a lot of dua to your Lord Almighty Azza wa Jal to empower you with all the energy and patience you need, and learn about the countless benefits and special rewards of Ramadan to keep your eyes on the prize and so get all the motivation you need.
Very good. And this applies to us too, to me too. So in Ramadan, we want to do a lot of things because it's so blessed month, but I find myself lazy, unable. I want to pray 5 times a day. I want to pray Taraweeh. I want to fast. I want to read the Quran. I need to go to work or go to school. I need to take care of my family or take care of my studies, my homework, or take care of the masjid. Or I want to do Taraweeh. I want to do Qiyamul Layl. A lot. It's like you go to Hajj and you just don't want to waste even 1 second because every moment it's so blessed. A lot of reward. You find yourself lazy or you find yourself unable to do this. What's the solution? Where do you get the power, the energy? Where do you get this? You're gonna order that in Amazon? You make dua. You make dua. Dua is very powerful. You ask the one who has the power to give you that power. In addition to this, you need a motivation because shaitan is going to try to deceive you. You remember all the benefits. You keep your eyes on the prize. Oh, this is worth that energy and that effort that I'm going to make that effort. And this does not, again, apply only to our children, our youth. It applies to all of us adults. And again, not only in Ramadan, but especially in Ramadan because we want to take that opportunity. Second one. Oh, sorry. Not your turn.
The second one is hunger, thirst, and tiredness due to a long day at school with a lot of classes and sometimes physical activities. Solution: have suhoor at its best time right before Fajr prayer with a healthy meal including enough drink to give you enough strength and keep you well hydrated during fasting. Also, avoid excessive physical activity and remember that you have the right to ask your school to exempt during Ramadan for religious reasons. Remember that feeling hungry and thirsty is part of what is meant to be fasting. So it is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Thank you so much. That was British English. I like it. MashaAllah. We have American English and British English. Very good. Thank you for that reading. So I go to school. I'm a youth, female or male. I go to school and I have a test. It is a very hard test. I'm just going to break my fast. Is that okay? Why not? It's very hard. I'm going to pass out. I'm going to fail the test. Isn't that an excuse to break my fast? Why not? Isn't Islam meant to be easy? I feel so hungry, so thirsty. Why do you want to torture me with fasting? Aren't you Muslims supposed to be peaceful and merciful? These are the kind of questions our youth go through. And they need clear answers that make sense. Otherwise, that can shake in their faith. And we need to give them. That's why it's very important to listen and respect our children, to listen to their concerns and take them very seriously. Of course, the answer is no. There is no excuse to break your fast because of a test. It's the opposite. You should continue your fast so that Allah blesses you, and then you pass that test with flying colors, with A+, not just A. Because, and by the way, when you're fasting, you have more energy, not less energy. Because when we eat a lot, we get what? Sleepy and lazy, and we do not focus much. When you're fasting, you are focusing more. Your mind gets sharpened. It's not only there, you have the spiritual blessing of fasting, but you also have the physical, the health benefits of fasting, which are limitless, just limitless. Now I have a gym, part of my classes. So I'm just going to break my fast because if I play sports, I'm going to, well, first of all, you can still play sports and be fasting, but just if you are going to play that sport or have a gym because part of your curriculum and it's so intense, so hard, and it's going to cause you to pass out, to faint, then you have to stop. Stop what? Which one do you need to stop? The fasting or the gym? The gym, not the fasting. And you have the religious right by the Constitution of the US, because you're an American, that constitutional right is guaranteed to you as an American because of religious reasons. The school cannot tell, no, you cannot do this, sorry. For religious reasons, you should be exempt. So there is no excuse not to fast. The only way when you cannot fast as a youth is if you have a doctor that you trust very well, they understand what Islam means, what fasting means, and the rest, and preferably a Muslim doctor who fears Allah Ta'ala, that will take the responsibility, not you, don't take that responsibility on your shoulder, that he or she will say, okay, because given your medical situation, you need to break your fast. Other than that, don't do it. Next one. I have to say this, and it's part of taking the meals. The suhoor, the pre-dawn meal, it has two major benefits. I mean, it has a lot of benefits, but two major ones. First one is spiritual. There is barakah. Suhoor, there is barakah. There is a blessing. There is a mercy of Allah Ta'ala in that meal. It's an act of worship. Suhoor, ibadah. It's like reading the Quran. That's how you have. Suhoor is not like just any other meal, just having a snack. No, it is a meal, but it's an act of ibadah. It's an act of. That's like you're praying or reading Quran or making dua, and you have to have that suhoor with that kind of intention. The other major benefit, it's health benefits, because it gives you that energy so you can sustain that fasting during the day. So it's my responsibility to follow the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jal and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam so that I can succeed in my fasting. But if I don't take the means, I don't take my suhoor, I don't do what I'm supposed to do, and then I break my fast, that's not the way we should go. Third one, we only have 4 minutes.
Lack of sleep due to late long taraweeh, very early suhoor, and early start of the school day. The solution is to set a schedule with a balanced set of priorities for school, prayer, Quran, dhikr, taraweeh, suhoor, etc. Manage your time well and do not waste in frivolous things such as excessive use of electronics.
Okay. So to elaborate on this, and again, this applies to us too, there is Taraweeh, and then hopefully you're planning Qiyamul Layl, Tahajjud, which is the night prayer right before Fajr, and then you have the suhoor, and then you have the fasting, and for in the case of our youth or whoever goes to school, you have the school, you have the homework. There are people who are working 2-3 jobs because they need to pay the bills. You have our respectful mothers who have to take care of the kids, and some of them, they have to take care of the kids 24 hours a day, which is not two jobs, like permanent job. It's more than 2 jobs. And on top of it, some of them are working. So a lot of things to do. So many things. At the same time, you're trying to take advantage of this great month of Ramadan. So what is the solution? One word. One word. Barakah. What does barakah mean? What does barakah mean? This word, it's mentioned a lot. So you meet someone, you say, oh, barakallahu feek. May Allah give you barakah. We translate the word barakah in English with blessing. Blessing, I mean, you need a whole book to explain what word barakah means, what it means. Just to make it very simple, barakah, the barakah, means that you accomplish a lot with less time and energy. So you're able to read the Quran, you go to school, you go to work, you pray 5 times a day, you do taraweeh, you do all of these things in a short amount of time. Astaghfirullah, I just made a huge mistake. What I should have done, that Allah enable you to do all of these things in a short amount of time. And this always happens whenever you have that strong connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala can make everything and anything happen. But if I am so away from Allah Azza wa Jal, then I am in the hands of shaitan, then I do a lot of things, but none of them is productive. None of them is impactful. I do everything and it's like as if I'm not doing anything. So to overcome this challenge of a lot of things to do, a very short amount of sleep, it just, you manage your time well, you have a plan, you plan your time beforehand, you say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and make sure you focus on what is obligatory, the fara'id, because those are the pillars. First and foremost, your salah 5 times a day, and Allah the Almighty. And I'm telling you this guaranteed, with 0 doubt, know for sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exalted is He and glorified is He, the most high and the most great, will empower you to do not only what you want to do, but a lot more than it in a very short amount of time. And to give you the proof, if you study the lives of great scholars of this ummah of Islam, and you look at how much they were able to accomplish, you say this is impossible. There's no way. Islam was someone who was, this scholar, mashallah, wrote 1,000 books. How did he do this in his lifetime? You know, what we say in English in the US, what do we say? We say, this man or this woman, they're bigger than life. What does that mean, they're bigger than life? They're able to accomplish things more than their lifetime because of the barakah of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the month of Ramadan is the month of the barakah. We're gonna have to stop here because I think, oh, it is perfectly timed. Sorry, that was number 3, but I have to respect time. May Allah Ta'ala accept whatever we talked about, and may Allah Ta'ala give us the power to fast in the month of Ramadan and enable us to overcome any challenge in the month of Ramadan so that we get closer and closer to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah ta'ala help our youth, all of them, to hold fast to their deen so that they are strong and righteous and devout servant of Allah Azza wa Jal. Because if they are righteous and devout servant of Allah ta'ala, both female and male, if you are so bonded with Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah the Almighty will give you a level of success that you have never dreamt of, that you cannot even imagine. And He will open doors for you, and He will solve whatever problem you have, and He will offer you and provide you with opportunities that you cannot even imagine. Because the door of Allah Azza wa Jal, the treasures of Allah Azza wa Jal, the bounties, the favors, the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal is unlimited, boundless. And the month of Ramadan is the greatest month to tap in this divine treasure of Allah Azza wa Jal and to ask Him and to turn to Him entirely with full heart of humbleness and showing your powerlessness and helplessness and hopelessness. So Allah Ta'ala gives you hope, and Allah Ta'ala gives you help and the strength and the support that we all need. Ameen. 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 Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa jazakumullahu khairan.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا واعتدلوا سووا صفوفكم فإن تسوية الصفوف من تمام الصلاة. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم ملك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ولقد بوّأنا بني إسرائيل مبوأ صدق ورزقناهم من الطيبات فما اختلفوا حتى جاءهم العلم. إن ربك يقضي بينهم يوم القيامة فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون. فإن كنت في شك مما أنزلنا إليك فاسأل الذين يقرؤون الكتاب من قبلك لقد جاءك الحق من ربك فلا تكونن من الممترين ولا تكونن من الذين كذبوا بآيات الله فتكون من الخاسرين. إن الذين حقت عليهم كلمات ربك لا يؤمنون ولو جاءتهم كل آية حتى يروا العذاب الأليم. فلولا كانت قريتنا آمنت فنفعها إيمانها إلا قوم يونس لما آمنوا كشفنا عنهم عذاب الخزي في الحياة الدنيا ومتعناهم إلى حين. ولو شاء ربك لآمن من في الأرض كلهم جميعا أفأنت تكره الناس حتى يكونوا مؤمنين. وما كان لنفس أن تؤمن إلا بإذن الله
ويجعل الرجس على الذين لا يعقلون قل انظروا ماذا في السماوات والأرض وما تغني الآيات والنذر عن قوم لا يؤمنون فهل ينتظرون إلا مثل أيام الذين خلوا من قبلهم قل فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين ثم ننجي رسلنا والذين آمنوا كذلك حقا علينا ننجي المؤمنين. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله 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 أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم ملك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل يا أيها الناس إن كنت في شك من ديني فلا أعبد الذين تعبدون من دون الله ولكن أعبد الله الذي يتوفاكم وأمرت أن أكون من المؤمنين وأن أقم وجهك للدين حنيفا ولا تكونن من المشركين ولا تدع من دون الله ما لا ينفعك ولا يضرك فإن فعلت فإنك إذا من الظالمين. وإن يمسسك الله بضر فلا كاشف له إلا هو وإن يردك بخير فلا راد لفضله يصيب به من يشاء من عباده وهو الغفور الرحيم. قل يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم الحق من ربكم فمن اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها وما أنا عليكم بوكيل. واتبع ما يوحى إليك واصبر حتى يحكم الله وهو خير الحاكمين. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.